Shalom Yasharala. Before we go into this lesson, we give all honor, all glory, and all praises be to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Harakakodash. We give honor to the apostles and prophets and elders of James Camp, better known as Great Millstone, for the bring forth the 100% truth that I've been currently edified under. Shalom to the elect, Tabernacle of David, and I am a brother Zariak coming through this lesson. Now, the lesson we are going into pertains to a life that we was into, where some jakes, stiff-necked and hard-headed, have a spirit of debate and not a spirit to listen and to learn. Because we know at this time Yahweh Shemel Shai has had many of their hearts, right? So they came for the purpose of the debate, even though one of our brothers was providing wonderful information and breaking on the very same precept in Genesis chapter 17 verses 12 and 13, they still would not hear it. It was very clear in the scriptures, but they still would not receive it. And this is what happening today. There are many people that I spoke to concerning this truth, and even when they receive it, example, letter J being established in the 1600s, 1524 to be exact, and yet, so it is impossible for the name, nor the pronunciation, the sounding of the name to be J. And when I explained that to them, so going back into what I was saying, it's like a little pause, and when I produced the information, they still up and said, listen to me, I serve God, and it doesn't matter what name you call him, he knows who you're praying to, which is a very false statement, because in one hand you have a zeal of Yahweh, but not according to knowledge. Because anybody, if you read the scriptures in Acts chapter 14 or 4 and verse 12, it shows you there's none other name given amongst men whereby we must be saved. And according to the history and according to what took place, we know that his name cannot be Jesus. So you see, they have a zeal. Let me get a precept. In Romans chapter 10 verses 1, it says, brethren, my heart's desire and prayer to power for Israel is that they might be saved. For I bear them record that they have a zeal of power, but not according to knowledge. Are you hearing this? Not according to what? Knowledge, which is wisdom and understanding, which is given by how? Your obedience and your faith in Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. For they being ignorant of power's righteousness, and going about to establish their own righteousness, which they were doing, they are trying to bring in these heathens on the life I'm talking about. Go back to the life, bring in these heathens as though they are going to be saved. But the Bible makes it very clear that only Israel is going to be saved. Unless you want to consider, I don't know if you have it in your mind that they go into captivity and we ruling over them is going to be salvation for them, then if that's your logic, no problem. But until then, there's no scriptures to show proof that according to Yahweh, he had promised the other nations that they are going to be ruling with Yahweh, with children of Israel. The blessings, let me get a precept in that, just before I continue. The blessings in Deuteronomy. For those who didn't read, let's jump straight down to it. It says, no, let's jump from verses, I believe verses 5. Bear with me. Bear with me, I'll get it. Verse 7, I will jump down to verse 13 after. It says, Yahweh shall cause thine enemies that rise up against thee to be smitten before thy face. It says, they shall come out against thee one way and flee before thee 7 ways. So how is it going to be possible for they to be ruling when our blessings, when we begin to be obedient again unto Yahweh Shemel Shai via the new covenant? How is that they are going to be ruling with us when they are going to be fleeing from us and being persecuted or destroyed by us? Make it make sense. Let's jump down to verse 13. Exactly what I was going to before. It says, and Yahweh shall make thee the head and not the tail, and thou shalt be above only and thou shalt not be beneath. If that thou hearkened unto the commandments of Yahweh thy power, which I command thee this day to observe and to do them. Very clear instructions and rewards given for those that obey Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. And this is only for who? As far as we understand, the children of Israel. So when you're speaking, as we always go back to establish, we always speak according to Isaiah 8 and 20. One precept does not trump or cut other precepts that is very evident and clear. If you lack the understanding of one precept, it's going to change the whole dynamics of the whole Bible for you. Which is why it is important to apply Isaiah 8 and 20 to the law and to the testimony if they speak not according to this words, because there's no light in them. And you have to be instructed under the right teachers. You're going out here professing to be Israelite, but carrying different doctrines from the elders and apostles that brought the information from the beginning. Come on, what foolishness is that? This is how we know you all went out to establish your own righteousness. You have on your life to debate with us. Whatever first name you have of Israelite, debate with us. This is your function, your notion. How does that serve Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai? With strife and contention and hatred mingle among it, because that's what debate usually brings about. Disagreements which continues with anger or vengeance or hatred because of different beliefs and understanding. You lack the understanding as simple as you can get it. You do. Let me get a preset book of Luke. I surely all know what we're talking about at this point in time. Luke 16. And verse 15 it says, and he said unto them, ye are they which justify yourselves before men, but power knoweth your hearts. For that which is highly esteemed among men is abomination in the sight of power. The pridefulness, especially when the brother brought all the information and was bringing it across to you. Okay, he wasn't in the spirit of debate, he was in the spirit of what? Show, to teach. This guy was having a discussion. You want to bring it to something more aggressive because that's your nature. That's not the way it's supposed to be. And then when he was going to prove something to you, you willingly out of your own mouth said, because there are multiple brothers that will witness to that. You said with your own mouth. You don't have to show me. He asks you, sure, you want to show you the proof? I'm going to show you the proof. No. I don't need to see the proof. This is how we know you ain't coming in the right spirit. How could you not want to see the proof of something that he's bringing out? Yet you are coming in trying to bombard with your numbers because you have a spirit of debate. You have a zeal of power, but it's not according to knowledge. That's what prevents many of our people from growing. Develop that lifestyle of debate because you see it as a fun thing. This is not the way Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai wanted to be. The aim is to edify the elect, bring the children back out from slumber into to awaken themselves to who they are and give them the truth. Not to use your platform to debate and make money and talk foolishness. You understand where I'm coming from? This is Luke chapter 18 and verses 14. It says, I tell you, this man went down to his house justified rather than the other. For everyone that exalted himself shall be abased, which is what you are doing. I know better. I know. You don't know nothing. That's your mindset. But he's bringing up precept upon precept, line upon line, here a little and there a little, and your pride is blocking you from receiving what is true. And he that humbleth himself shall be exalted. Because when you humble yourself, when you come back as a babe, desiring the sincere milk, which is this truth, the foundation, then you are really going to receive it. That's why the Bible says what? The elect shall receive it and the rest were blinded. Many are called and few are chosen. You might be called to your foolishness, but you are not going to be chosen to receive this truth unless you come out of that behavior and that ways, which we don't know if Yahweh Hashem is going to keep him there. Who knows? He might wake up in the very last time. But until then, if you already received this information, knowing who you are, and still went on a different doctrine, then I don't know, really and truly. It's a very grim state for you. And to many of those who follow in that same mindset, be very careful. Tread lightly. It's a fearful thing to fall into the hands of the living power. You do not want to tread in that field. Because when Yahweh Hashem is ready for you, he can put you in a docile state again, like many others do. We have witness to that. When you have precept in Philippians chapter 3, the Philippians, Proverbs chapter 3, Salah. Proverbs chapter 3, but Tom in right now, and verses 5 to 7, where it says, trust in Yahweh with all thine heart, and lean not unto thine own understanding. Which is what we are trying to show you what not to do. A very simple thing as a grammatical error could cause a shift in your understanding. And you, blindly new to this truth, is going to follow through with that same doctrine that you were deceived by the same grammar. This is why we always say, go into your words, get the understanding, go into etymologies. It's better to do so because why? The English translation is not the same as the Hebrew. It even has in Ezra where it says that you're supposed to go into these words because not all the words that are translated from Hebrew into another tongue have the same force or meaning in them. There's a difference in understanding. This is why I have to go back to the root, the original translation for it, or at least the original meaning of the word, which is still here on the earth today. The amount of times Malak had brought the same precept down for you to understand that it's only established for the seed of Abraham, not seeds in a seed, one singular seed. Yet you are trying to reach. The prophets never said. Prophets never said. I said again, the prophets never preached salvation and repentance to all people. The prophets always come with, hey, warning. If you keep doing what you're doing, you are going to be judged by Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Turn away from your wicked ways and come back to your power. Which proof being made, that power, which is Yahweh Shem Yahushai, is to the children of Israel. We got a precept in Proverbs 9. You can't even bypass this precept, but you want to go into others. Come on. For I could wish that myself were a curse from a Mashiach, for my brethren, my kinsmen according to the flesh, who are Israelites, to whom pertain the adoption, and the glory, and the covenants, and the giving of the law, and the service of power, and the promises. Who is the service of power given to? The children of Israel, the Israelites. We just read it. It pertains to them. And it may shall complete it by saying, whose fathers and whom as concerning the flesh, Hamashiach came, who is over all power, blessed forever. Amen. It continues to say the same exact thing that I was probably going to go into is right here in verse 7. Go in verse 6. Not as though the word of power had taken none effect, for they are not all Israel which are of Israel, which is a very correct statement because there are many of our people that had literally forsaken the Holy Covenant and joined themselves with the heathen and became heathens. There are many of the wicked people in Israel. We know this. So not all Israel are of Israel, because as far as we understand, those that are seriously who are Israel at heart or Jew at heart would be what? Being obedient unto Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Case closed. Romans chapter 1, I believe Romans chapter 2, so that verse 25 to 28. Verse 7. Neither because they are the seed of Abraham are they called the children, but in Isaac shall thy seed be called. So it identifies which seed line it's coming from, which means Abinah was indeed very correct, because it would not be of the other sons, nor a heathen, but that seed line. Yet they stiffen their necks. They willingly chose to cover their ears and join other people onto their lives. And when we were trying to get onto their lives, mind you, like Ramya and a few others, they were not allowing them to do so. You understand the mindset of these people at this point? These are one that we can say not all Israel are of Israel, because look at what they are doing. Preaching different doctrine, debating, willingly disobedient unto the ways of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Willingly don't want to hear it. They don't want to hear it out of their own mouths. And to my understanding, Yahweh Shem Yahushai has led them that way. He has led them to be that way. Let me get a precept in Proverbs again, chapter 14. I think you know what's going on as well. And verse 12, we all bring this out. There's a way which seemeth right unto a man, but the ends thereof are the ways of death. And you rejected knowledge. Let me get a precept in Hosea chapter 4 verse 6. Before you continue, you rejecting that knowledge, which means what? It says, my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. How do they have lack of knowledge? Because thou hast rejected knowledge, which you did. You are going to be destroyed because you reject the knowledge that was going to be presented to you to have the understanding of the same precept. So now you're going to keep running with that, teaching salvation to all, which means you haven't truly woken up. You haven't truly become a new man. What does it mean to become a new man? It means your characteristics and your mindset must change too. Yet you come out of Christianity preaching the same thing of Christianity. That makes any sense? You're literally. You're a slave plantation Israelite. That's all I can say. Slave plantation, because what? You're still head first in Christianity, regardless of what we are saying. Read it again. Because thou hast rejected knowledge, I will also reject thee, that thou shalt be no priest to me. So then my new question is, if you are going unto the ways of the Yahweh Shem Yahushai, which is the law and testimony, Isaiah 8:20, standard, and you are rejecting the wisdom that's being brought out to you, which was proven in precepts upon precept, line upon line, and here a little and there a little, then why are you preaching? Why are you preaching? You were not given commands to preach, because he says that thou shalt be no priest to me. You have no authority to preach, sir, if this is your mindset, even to debate, sir, because you don't have the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding that many others would have to help you. Seeing thou hast forgotten the law of thy power, I will also forget thy children. So you are the ones that are going to be forgotten until. Sorry to say, because look at what you're doing. You fit the very description as to what the precept gave out. Am I lying? Did you not reject what the brother was bringing out? What he was going to prove to you? Did you not debate? Did you not have an agenda against him? Which is why others came up on the platform and they were cutting him off when he was talking and breaking it down. Didn't that not happen? Tread lightly, that's what I could say. Tread lightly. We got a precept, I believe it's Proverbs 11 and 3. What do you ask? Okay, so that. No, Proverbs. So that. Proverbs 11. Is it 3? Go ahead, ma'am. Verse 18. Is it 3 or 18? Is it 12 and 3? Wait. I'll read verse 12. It's 11. But let me read this one. This one not bad. A man shall not be established by wickedness, but the root of the righteous shall not be moved. So no matter how you try to come against us, we are going to still disprove you. We are still going to preach Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai, B'Hashem Rekakodash at the end of it all. And we are still going to come with the sound doctrine as the children of Israel, as mentioned in scriptures, whether they be Jews or Greeks or Gentiles, or they be the strangers that are scattered. They are going to be saved. Case closed. Proverbs 11 verse 18 says, the wicked worketh a deceitful work, but him that soweth righteousness shall be a sure reward. So at the end of this all, you all are going to see who Yahweh Shemeshah really is and who he came for, because it's mentioned in scriptures. It is impossible for you to make a claim that all could be saved when Yahweh Shemeshah out of his own mouth tells you that he's going to save you from your enemies, which are the heathen nations. Make it make sense. How is that going to be possible to mesh the enemies with Israel and say that you all are now together, even if you're together, still going to save you from you? And even though they're not keeping the commandments and you keeping the commandments as promised according to the covenant, I'm going to bless you and keep you up, and they're going to rise with you. That makes any sense? Come on. After everything they have done, and Yahweh Shemeshah required that which is past from them also, you really think that that's going to happen? You have to be delusional at this point. Or you just don't know the scriptures. Let me get one precept. Proverbs 28, and I'll close up. As the scripture went on to say, and which you did this. So again, it says, he that turneth away his ears from hearing the law, even his prayer shall be an abomination. Were we not reading from the Torah? Did we not jump into Leviticus? Was not Malach Abaniah going to break it down and prove to you according to law and testimony? What did you do? You didn't want to hear. So guess what did they do? You didn't want to hear. So guess what? He that turneth away his ears from hearing the law, even his prayer shall be an abomination. So I hope this lesson was indeed edifying, because you are these precepts literally directed to the one person who rejected this. If you realize, every precept that I read it literally matches up with the character of the person and what they did. So I hope this lesson is edifying. We say Shalom Yasharala, Kal Halalia Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Rekakodash. We get that belongs to the apostles and prophets and elders of GMS camp. Better known as great minister for the being for the 100% truth that have been currently edified under. Shalom to the elect, Tabernacle of David, and Iron Bread to Zaria coming. I'm saying to you, Salak, Shalom. Till the next one.